That's why you, before the first quarter, before the end of January of every year, you slip back to what you used to do. Many people say, I will be going to the church. Others say, I will stop drinking. But guess what? They start drinking by 10th of January or when they get the other salary. Why? They were using willpower, but how long can it survive? The way we change things is to hold what we want. So does it want? Yes. What we want so much and put it in our subconscious mind, so that it becomes a part of us. To replace the old paradigms, the old habits, to replace those, you need to put new ones. But you don't use willpower. It cannot take you so far. It's important, but it will not take you all the way. There's a way we do it. When we hold what you want in your mind, unfortunately, you will be distracted. Distractions always come. What am I saying? Distractions are, you are thinking about how you are going to be rich, how you are going to start making a million Kenya shillings, for example, every month by this date. You have it and you want it so much. But when you're holding that one in your mind, then somebody else is coming to you with another shinier object. The grass is looking greener on the other pasture. And now you are looking at that one, so you lose concentration. You are about to do this one, your spouse tells you there are better things to do. You've been doing that one for the last 6 months and you can show nothing in this family. Distractions. You've been doing very well with a few people, but then you go out on this evening with friends and you decide to enjoy a meal, maybe a drink, and the way they are talking, they deflate you. They take you off course. Maybe you are in this business that you do and you have the comrades or colleagues or business partners and you've been doing very well until now. One of the people there have developed these negative habits, negative talk, and you sit down somewhere and you're talking and the negativity gets into you. Instead of now focusing on the results, you're focusing on another person. Distractions. And I can see somebody called Moby Agnes is tuned in. Karibu sana. Patrick Dij. Karam Mongagi, how are you doing? So for that reason, many of you are not going to get the results that you want because of distractions. Now, listen carefully. Where I'm seated, up above me, you can see some light of sorts, is a light bulb. Wonderful, because when it's dark, this bulb lights your room, gives you lighting, and you can see and you can enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Light. Very important. Now, there is another type of light called laser beam. This laser beam is the same light, but it's now put together. It cuts metals. Same. Difference is the way it's focused. What is will? Will is the ability to hold one picture on the screen of your mind at the exclusion of all other distractions. That's where discipline and focus and concentration make will. You want to get something, you have to develop will. Will is one of the higher faculties of the mind. You have to hold it so dear and so closely. Ignore all the distractions, point it in one position like this on your psychic barrier so that you become a part of what you are willing to get. Do you see it started with what? The imagination. You have this picture of what is your car right now. By the way, if you are listening to me, write the car that's your dream car. Write it here. I want to see your dream car. Then I show you how to get the dream car. Write it. Because you see, that is what you hold on the screen of your mind at the exclusion of the gossips. The distractions that are called the naysayers. Charles Karanja, how are you doing? Are you getting my point here? What I'm saying is, you have to hold one picture on the screen of your mind at the exclusion of all distractions. It's called focus. If you want to know the wheel, you have to go to the Asian places, and you have to see the monks. And these guys are going to sit one stationary place, look at one point for hours. It's an ability that you have to develop. Not everybody can do that. But that is how you are going to get what you want. You have to sit down and now practice how to get the wheel. And Bob Proctor and Mary Morrissey teaches me like this. Put a dot on the wall, or in a quiet room, light a candle. Okay? Light a candle, and I can see everybody's coming in right now. I can see Anointed Perusia, Karibu Sana. You are going to tell me how you got the name. And I can see Peter Mungai, Doctor, V8, correct? This is what I want. When you want the V8, Dr. Mugai, forget about this other small car that you want. Hold that one car on the screen of your mind. Exclude everything else. So this Bob Proctor and Mary Morrissey tells me two ways. One, put a dot on the opposite wall. Right where I'm seated right now, on the opposite is a wall and there's a dot that I put there. And do what? Every time focus on that dot at least. Focus. Now what will happen to you is, you focus on that dot, but the mind will start going away from it. Says, don't feel bad, bring it back. So one way is to put a dot on the wall, the other one is to light a candle. Focus on the candle, put it somewhere across you, focus on it. Your mind will always wander away from the candle, put it back. Wander, put it, until now you develop this concentration. Because you see, this is a gift that you are given. Some people use it very well, others it's not developed at all. You see, if you want to have big muscles, you have to the gym. You have to go to the gym and work on the muscles. If you don't work on the muscles, you'll be having ability to have big muscles, but they'll be weak because you don't work them. Same case with the higher faculties: imagination, the intuition, the will. These are things that you have to practice to be able to get what you want faster, to manifest what you want faster. Now, when you actually focus on it and you become very good, the message is not the dot or the candle. The message is, if you take one thing to do, you will be able to do it very well, even when distractions are coming to you. You'll be in a position to not notice them and follow the one course. They say focus is follow one course until successful. But I also want to tell you that for a will that is not developed, that's a fallacy. Haven't you seen when you want to do something but other things keep coming in? You want to do this thing but this other thing comes in, there's a call. I can tell you here that there are people I work with and they want to get ahead in life. They wake up in the morning, they are dedicated, they are saying, I'm going to do a wonderful business. Instead of concentrating on the things that give results, the 20% that give 80% of the result, instead of now, let's assume for any business there'll be, what you say, calling people. Calling people. How many people do you need to call every day? Focus on that. But do we do that one? No, we don't. I've seen, because I've been this for years. I've been in this big office that we have, and I've watched people from my office. And what do I see? I see people are busy on the phone. They are on WhatsApp. They are on Facebook. They are on all the social media places, Instagram and TikTok and whatever. They take a sizable amount of time there. When they were supposed to be productive, they are here. And they don't know why. Others just get in to the office and guess what? They have, if I can draw a path for you, I know it. They get to the office, they go to the kitchen. They know the other person, they go to the kitchen and they sit down and they gossip. They came to get a business going. But they don't get the business. By the time, if you look at their day of productivity, they spend less than 30 minutes of what matters. They cannot explain what happens to this other big whole day. Yet, another one, let me tell you of the business that many of you know, because, I deal with people. Other people will come in and, yes, they'll get an order, for example, to deliver a commodity, a product somewhere. And they take this size of a product and they deliver it all the way across town. They take 2 hours Maybe it's raining, so you have to wait somewhere for the rain to come down to deliver a product that's going to pay you maybe $1. That's 100 shillings, end of the month. That's not how to do it. Focus on the things that if you do them, you get 80% of the results. So how do we do this again? What is exactly the deal with the... I want you to imagine like this. When you're able to focus like this, a focus or the will is the ability to hold one picture on the screen of your mind at the exclusion of all other distractions. It opens a power portal. There's a portal of power that opens when you focus. And that's where magic happens to you. That's how, Jose, I can see you're here, Jose Njoroge and Mill. That's how you get things ahead of life. Now, listen carefully. If when you start focusing, you want something, you get an image, you focus on, or you focus on it, the forces of universe start to rearrange themselves to honor you. Because you see, when you focus on one picture, because it simply means you're focusing on it because you want it. It goes to your mind, subconscious mind, it becomes a desire. A desire becomes a feeling. It sets your body on a different vibration. But because you see, there are laws of the universe. One of them is the law of vibration. Many of you watched a movie that came years back that everybody watched in the world. It was a hit. It was called The Secret. The Secret, one of the stars starring people was Bob Proctor. But today they tell us, yes, the law of attraction was the story of The Secret, but the law of attraction is a secondary law. The law that matters is the law of vibration. What's vibration? Everything you see and don't see is in continuous motion, including yourself, including the stone, including the table, including your phone. They're on vibration. You want to see? Let's talk about your body. Have you seen a dead person? Are they dead? Then at another 1 week, 2 weeks, the flesh is leaving the body and we are only remaining with a skeleton. Vibration is always there every time. Do you understand? So does that mean the car that you want has vibration? Correct. Does that mean that the phone that you want has vibration? Correct. Now listen carefully so that now you understand what I'm talking about. Where you are right now, you're looking at me. But if you look around yourself, in the air, in the environment you are, is music happening, but you cannot hear it. There is a movie happening that you cannot hear it. There's even a person talking to another one, but you cannot hear it. Where can't you hear it? Because you're not tuned to that frequency. Okay? You're not tuned to that frequency. Why? Because your ear is not designed to do that. Let me even bring you further before I bring this in for landing. Yeah, vibration, Wawero. Listen carefully. Now, this is the deal. Have you seen what we call a dog whistle? There's a whistle for dogs. You blow it, your dog comes wagging a tail. Nobody can hear the whistle except the dog, because the dog can pick higher frequencies. That's a proof that there are things happening around us that we cannot pick, because our body, our senses can only pick this amplitude or frequency. Amplitude simply means the highest frequency could be here, the lowest could be here. That's how far we are calibrated to pick as human beings. The dogs are a little higher. They would pick higher than you can hear with your eyes, but the dog is gonna hear it. So message is here. There are vibrations happening around you right now as we speak, but you cannot hear them using your ears because you're not calibrated to do that one. If you want to hear them, go get a radio. Okay? When you come with the radio and you tune it to that frequency, now it aligns to your ear's frequency and you can hear the music. Do you want to tell me that the radio is the one that comes with the frequencies? No. If you want to know the truth, this is the truth, you're going to go to areas and the radio is not going to be able to receive until you put in antennas to try and get the frequency from that particular area, because that area, the frequencies are again a different frequency. You understand what I'm talking about? You are going to use one radio to pick a frequency from this station, but when you go to a different area, then you have to tune a different frequency to get the same radio station. So what am I saying? Because this is now something I need you to understand, guys. What I'm saying is, where you are a frequency. Do you want to watch a movie? There's a movie right in your room right now. But then you have to get a good screen, and you have to get the other access of a software or access to a program called Netflix. Then you put them, tune in, and then for that reason, it is now the Netflix now is able to get the movie, because the movies were made, they were thrown out there in the universe. Having said that, it also means, now let's talk about my friend Dr. Peter Mongai. You want the V8. Why do I suspect it's black in color? Now you see, the V8 that you want is around where you are right now. You have it. It's there. But you see, you have to tune it to its frequency, because everything is in vibration. Everything. You could be like this. You are vibrating on this level. Your V8 is vibrating on this level. So how do you get there? You have to want it so bad until now you are able to move to that frequency, and you attract things in the areas of the level that you actually vibrate at. You have to move to the car's frequency. I hope I'm making sense. For that reason, you have to imagine big, but then imagination is not enough. Imagine, then hold that picture of whatever you want on the screen of your mind at the exclusion of all other distractions. Hold it long enough, it goes to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious vibrates differently, makes your body vibrate differently, and you are able now to attract what you want. The body is compelled to act different, to talk to the right person. Haven't you seen the people changing their self-image when they start driving a certain car and they change completely? What happened? It went to their subconscious mind. They are vibrating differently. They are on a different frequency, and you can tell. And this is where a normal person says this one is becoming proud. Give them the same car, they will not be the same. Guys, this is deep. But in everything that you do, I want you to focus. When you focus on one area of your subconscious mind with what you want, you say, this is what I want, and you focus. It increases the amplitude of the frequency. It's like you want to wash your car, and you have a water hose. And for it to clean a very muddy area on your car, then you have to tighten the noose so that the jet is concentrated. And that's how you clean the car. It's the same story with the wheel. How bad do you want what you want? If you want it so bad, you have to be so disciplined to hold it on the screen of your mind and exclude all the distractions. The reason I'm going to be beating up many people in this game called personal development is because I remember years back, this I told to my brothers, probably my sisters, maybe when you're talking at home, and a few friends, that I used to dream of a time when I could sit with myself and just create things, work from the house, create my future. That was my dream. Guess what? What I do now, comfortably. I don't have to leave the door of my house to earn a 6-7 figure income. I don't have to. Do you understand? For that reason, when I'm confined here, the only people that are around me are family. You understand? And now when the family is around me, something else happens. You create at your optimum. Number two, the distractions are limited. There are no distractions. So when I point to do something, guess what? I'll do it. The will. I can see Pastor Well saying, why? I get it now. No, Jane, I understand. We preach and say deep call for the deep. I'm going to read what you mean, but now you see, there was a reason why King Solomon said, in whatever you do, seek understanding. Now you guys are saying, whoa, this is heavy. Now I understand. Yes, when you understand, now you are able to see how to get what you want. You will never get these things until you understand. Understanding makes the difference. Understanding means you are using one power called, one law of the universe called the perpetual transmutation of energy. There is this power that flows through and into us. It doesn't have form. But using the higher faculties of our mind, we give it form. Using imagination, you see the car that you want, or the house that you want, or the friendship that you want. You see it in the mind. Using the will, you concentrate on it until you become one and the same with it. And before you know what is happening, you are part of the dream. Do you see? Let me let you in on a secret of the universe. I want you to let you in on a secret of the universe. The moment you take a step towards what you want, one way, this way, what you want takes thousands of steps towards you. You think you're attracting it, it's attracting. You think it's attracting you, you're attracting it. It comes faster than you can imagine. And this happens for what you want and what you don't want. That's why you cannot afford to say the things that you don't want, because they also start coming. There's a saying that goes like this. It never rains, it pours. I think there are people who've had this one, but it never rains, it pours. It means when things start happening, this happens so fast. Actually, in my language, there's a saying that says, if you see somebody who is becoming poor, it's like they are being auctioned. And if you see a person who's getting rich, it's like they're getting dowries from the daughters. Do you see what happens? It's what you focus on, it comes a lot. There's a reason why Napoleon Hill, when he wrote the book, The Science of Getting Rich, somewhere he said, when the money starts coming, it comes so fast that you start wondering where it has been through all these lean years. This is when, for ordinary people, from where I come from, they will say, this one is now a devil worshipper. I know we come from different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, but for majority of people, when they cannot understand a phenomenon, they associate it with paranormals and evil spirits. Simply because they don't understand. That's why King Solomon says what? In whatever you do, seek understanding. When you understand, then you are different. When the money starts coming, it's like you just opened it like this, it pours, bam, on you. But then you have to understand, you have to know which key to open. There was when Bob Proctor was very poor one time, and one of the mentors told him, this stuff called money has ears, but you have to know how to call it. So you see, the money has ears. What you want has ears, but you have to know how to call it. You see, if you know, you get a person from, say, South America that is speaking Spanish, and you are from a deep place, maybe in where? Kakamega, and there's a language that you use. Do you think you're going to call that person and they're looking the other direction in your native language, they're going to hear you? No. You have to understand the language of what you want. It's called frequencies. Frequencies come because they are vibrations. What vibration are you at? How do you get to the other vibration? Imagine what you want. Hold on the screen of your mind at the exclusion of others. It will come to you. Let me finish with the story of the US President, Abraham Lincoln. He was struggling with having to write the proclamation when he needed to abolish the slavery here in the United States. And he could not get it. But then he had a friend. This friend was called Leonard. This friend was a lawyer like him. Because Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer. But he was used to live... oh, wait a minute. Where I'm here, it's my neighboring state. It's called Illinois. It's called Illinois. The guy came from a place called Springfield. Lincoln sent for this guy. Said, come to the Oval Office. He went there. They sat down for hours. Abraham Lincoln started talking. He started talking about what would happen if he was to write the proclamation, who would object it, what would people say. He talked for 7 hours without Leonard uttering a word. And when he was done, he told Leonard, thank you very much for coming. I have achieved what I wanted. So you see, Abraham Lincoln made one guy come all the way from Springfield to the Washington, D.C. to sit down for 7 hours so that he could talk. What did he need? He needed the ability to concentrate, to focus, so that he could get the results. The results were not with Leonard. Leonard brought in the environment so that he could get the answers he was looking for, he was seeking for. That's why I'm saying, learn to focus. Who is it that's going to give you the focus that you want? I remember one day, I'm coming from Nairobi, and I'm going to a place called Kijabi, and in the evening one day, I decided, let me sit down here with Wazee, and we are speaking, and I met a guy that we were strangers. This guy, he used to work in the coast, Mombasa, beautiful town of Mombasa, for years. So he had this accent of Swahili, and he sat down next to me, and he started telling me stories. And something told me this guy wants to talk. That guy talked for 45 minutes non-stop. Talked. And all I could say is, okay, that makes sense. All right? He talked. Then when he was done, he said, he told other guys, this guy is very good. Why would he say I was good? Because I did not interrupt his thought process. I gave him a chance to express the will. So what I'm saying is, learn this trick. It's going to change your life. Because if you don't learn the will, you'll not get the results that you want. You'll always be distracted. You'll be saying, I want this, but your friend says, you'll be saying, I want to start to do this business. Your friend will come and say, let's go do farming. Distraction. You say, today I must call my 5 people today in the morning. When you get to the office, you get people gossiping in the kitchen. You sit down to gossip with them. Do you see? So guys, the will is the ability to focus on one point. The ability to hold one picture on the screen of your mind at the exclusion of all others. There it opens a portal power. And you don't know the magic that happens, but now the powers that be start to rearrange to give you what you want. The will. You will face distractions. You've always faced distractions. But until you develop the will, and this is the deal as I finish, because I'm finishing now. I have gone to what they call clubs. Nairobi Safari Club. I've been to several others. Never was a member. Maybe when I'm back, one day I will want to try and be a member. But I noticed one thing in those areas. Now, the people who go to those areas are the elite. Like, it is a lot of money to be accepted in a certain club. Money is not even the issue. The issue is, they look at your background. Somebody has to, to nominate you to get that. Is it making sense? So now it's a lot of work to be accepted in a club. You cannot bribe your way in, because why do you bribe? These people are millionaires in their own right. It is association you're looking for and networking ability and all these things. Now, I went there because somebody can invite you to this club. There are very stringent rules that don't make sense in those places. Let me give you an example. When you're in that club and you pick a phone to call, they are going to charge you. And it's a lot of money. They don't care if you're a member or you're a guest. You will pay. In some clubs, you don't go in a cap unless you are in the golf. In many areas, you don't put on a t-shirt. If it's a t-shirt, it has to be polo. It has to have a collar. I don't know why they do that. Nobody knows. But come to think of it, actually, you don't talk on top of your voice. It's just a quiet place. But now thinking of this topic called the will, and the fact that 96-97% of all money being earned in the world is earned by the 3% of the world population. And it's not by accident, it's by design. Don't you think there's something the 3% know? The ones that go to the clubs and they don't want the noise, they don't want the phone distractions. You have to dress in a certain way, you have to walk in a certain way, you have to buy in a certain way, you have to drink only this much. Don't you think there's something we know that we don't? One of them is the will. Because somebody is there, they are on a business with themselves. They want to focus. You cannot bring a distraction. I've even seen this when somebody is hitting a golf. Even if it is 1,000 people watching, everybody goes stone quiet. Stone quiet. It's a crime to utter a word when somebody is hitting a golf. If this does not start to make sense, then I don't know what will. Distractions. Learn, develop the higher faculty called the will, to hold one picture on the screen of your mind and the exclusion of all distractions. You open a portal power. The universe starts to correspond, to rearrange things to give you what you want. I'm giving you the material for the wealthiest people, the most elite. Use it. Why? Because you see, it was not taught in our schools. It's not going to be making sense for you right now. But when you hear it again, I suggest in your own time, get time, come here, listen again. They say faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. You hear again, you hear something different. You hear again, when you're done hearing several times. By the way, on this course that I am doing, coaching called Lead the Field, I'm given 10 days to listen to the same recording every day. 10 days. Albert here is given 10 days to listen to the same recording every day without missing. So you see what they are trying to have me develop? Something like the will, that yes, I can do it. And then when you do it, it opens up something else in the mind. You do it, it opens something else in the mind. Before you know what happens, you have become. Finally, now you know sometimes these topics are going to go and you don't know if time is passing, but let me bring it in for landing right now, man. If you can remember when we were young, I don't know, Pastor Owero, if you still remember these. Everybody, Musa Moses, I know you were a young boy like me one time. And you could remember those days when, if you're like me, coming from the background that I came from, we used to go looking for our parents and our grandparents' animals, flock, the sheep, goat, cows. And we'd go to the nearby bushes and thickets, and we would graze there. And we did just about everything the young people do. One of the things that we did is, there were days that it was a little chilly. It's not so chilly, there's some sunlight, but the weather is feeling cold. And we noticed something else, but now come to think of it, it was magical. It was feeling cold, but you could get the bottom of a bottle, the glass bottle. You crack it, They were the treat-up bottle, if you remember those days. And the way you'd clean it and hold it at an angle on a piece of paper, and the sunshine would shine through it and actually bring fire on the paper or some bushes, and you could light fire on a common day just using a piece of glass. What happened? We'd call that a magnifying glass. It would concentrate all the rays of the sun to one point until the heat was immense to cause fire. That is the potential that you have. If you push all your energies in one place, you open a portal of energy, a portal of power, and get what you want. It was nice talking to you guys. That topic is amazing. It's exciting. Watch it again. Let's meet again on Friday for another topic of a different higher faculty until you get them all. All right? Enjoy yourself. Have a good evening. Good day for people around here, and beautiful week. Thank you very much. God bless you.